We're trying to expand globally. Long curly hair and a beard, but he ain't Toby Keith. You might have thought it's beef, but we gon' handle that. Stealing jerseys off of the wall like fuck Vander Jack. Okay, he ran with that, and now he's on the loose. Put a little bit of poison in his Jamba Juice. Go ahead and drink on that, just take another sip. Need an appraisal, shout out to Ron Huff and Dick. The kids loving this, I know you heard it, son. The purpose is perfect, every person we learn something from. Go ahead and come along, we have a little fun. A few questions, how about 31?
And that is for sure the best podcast intro in the business. I mean, I don't know. You can say what you want about my podcast. Too many, crazy, sound is shitty, which I'm working on. Hopefully this is a little louder. Been on the phone with techs all day. Have a sound guy coming tomorrow to make sure. I hear you guys say that you just have to crank it all the way up to hear me, which is crazy because my loud ass is loud. But I booked some loud guests for you guys today. So you know how it goes.
Oh, shit. Here we
go again. Shout out, as always, to the Patreons. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I think one of the Patreons is going to come sit in for part of the day today and do some Craigslist chaos. So, like, I'm not going to... This is better than hearing ads, I'm sure, but nobody does Patreon like me. I literally... You can come to my house and be on the show. Fuck, like, free tickets and hugs. I'll give you all that bullshit, but I'm the realest Patreon there is, or mine's the best. That's what I think. But I'm also biased, so who knows? Other than that, I'm headlining Comedy Works tonight. This will probably come out tomorrow, so hopefully it went good. Have to do clean 45 minutes of material. Oh, boy. Good luck with that for me, so hopefully I'm not banished from Comedy Works. I mean, I know I can do it, but it's just not as fun because I like to say fuck, shit, damn. Other shit like that. That's why I have my own podcast, The Studio Content Factory. Enough rambling and gambling. Let's get after it. You know, I got some cool guests coming in. The first guest today is one of my best friends in the whole world. She is a very funny comedian. We met a long, long time ago in Phoenix. We have traveled the world together. Pretty much every cool Instagram picture I have is because of her. She's just awesome. She's a very funny comedian, and her brother's very famous. So don't bother Googling it. Yes, her name is Jill Kimmel, and her brother is Jimmy Kimmel. And her brother is Jonathan Kimmel, who's also very talented and doing the show Crank Anchors right now, which hopefully you'll hear my Craigslist chaos and hire me for season 2. I just thought of that. Brilliant. But anyway, I love her. We're going to call her and see what she's doing right now and see what's going on. So here we go. Hopefully.
Hello.
Jilly.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Very crisp.
Very crisp? All right, that's good. I've been having shitty sound problems. What's going on with you?
Not much. Just, wrapping up the old Christmas shopping. Just trying to get it all done before we leave for LA on Saturday.
Ooh. Is it? Well, you got 2 teenage kids. Are they hard to shop for or no?
Allison is super easy to shop for. She's 17. She likes all the stuff. She likes clothes. She likes makeup. She likes perfume. She likes jewelry. She likes records. She's very easy to shop for. I say, give me a list. She's got it like in her phone. She copies and pastes it, and immediately she's got like 13 things that she wants. Carson is not easy to shop for. He's got very particular taste. He last Christmas told me he just wanted cash.
Just straight cash?
So he got cash. Yeah, he got cash for Christmas. He said, best gift ever. So that's what he got.
Well,
he wants either cash or really expensive stuff.
Oh, like what's really expensive?
He wanted a computer. He started college a couple months ago, and he needed a new computer. And he can't just get, like a laptop. He had to get this computer that's a desktop. I'm like, why wouldn't you get a laptop that you could take with you to take notes?
Yeah.
He said, oh, I have a laptop for that. I want a desktop computer. This thing lights up. The lights go back and forth. He wanted it for gaming is what he wanted it for. It was like a $2,400 computer. So he's got very fine taste, but a very small budget. So
well,
it's hard to shop for him.
I see why he just wants cash.
Yeah.
What about for the boyfriend, your sweet, sweet boyfriend that I love?
He's a little tough to shop for because he always says, "I don't need things. I like experiences." So, like for his birthday, I took him to this place. It was kind of like glamping, where they have these really nice tents that are set up permanently with showers in them and that kind of thing. And he's a little hard to buy, but you can't go wrong with just like something Seahawk, basically.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So.
For us Bronco Cowboy fans, you can, but for him, he'll be happy.
Well, that's right. Exactly. When you have a good team, it's easy to strut their stuff.
Yeah. Well, your Cowboys are coming around.
Oh, yeah, they're right.
They'll be there.
One game. They'll be there not making the playoffs again. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's really. I actually saw a Broncos jersey for a dog yesterday, and I almost got it for you and shared it and your dog. And then I looked on the side, there was like a tear, like a rip, and I was like, "Oh, I can't get him that." It was the only one. So
that sums.
It was a thought that counted.
Hey, that sums up our season. Well, last time I saw you, we were partying at your brother's comedy club in Vegas. A long, long night. I don't know if you realize this. I realized it the other day. We partied till like 3, and I had to leave for the airport at like 3:30. I went to my hotel room, I think at like 3:12, and I set an alarm for like 3:23. It was the dumbest alarm I've ever set.
I tried to talk you out of it.
I know.
I said, "Do not go to sleep. You will never wake up." You assured me you would. I thought, well, he is insisting he's going to get half an hour of sleep. And you did. You got up and you got to the airport on time just fine. But I don't think I've ever seen you that drunk.
Oh, and you have seen me drunk before.
And I've seen you drunk a lot. Oh, no. The only other time I think I've ever seen you drunker is when you came to Phoenix for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I was so drunk.
When Seattle was playing. Oh, my, you were. But
how did
the night in Vegas, who knows? I don't know. You were like belligerent. I was like, oh, he's really drunk.
Oh, God. Well, the night in Phoenix, I was so drunk, I was determined to sneak into the stadium and
after the game was over.
No, and spend the night and then be there for the game the next day. But then luckily you talked me out of it. How drunk? How did we get so drunk on your birthday? Or I did, I guess.
I don't know. I had been drinking, but I wasn't like wasted. But I don't know what you were drinking. I wasn't keeping an eye on you. I just all of a sudden was like, oh, I think he's really drunk.
Oh,
I guess
God.
we were making up for Matt Markman and Matt Broom, the Matts that don't drink.
Oh, shit. I don't even remember.
Right?
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I'm glad we survived it. On to better news. Last time right after that, you were going to see Garth. How was seeing Garth Brooks?
It was great. He was sweet as always. He's just really one of the nicest people ever. He's very gracious. Even if he doesn't remember you, he acts like he does. But because of the settings I've met him in, since I met him at Jimmy's show, he does actually remember me, which is nice. He was great as always, and he was sweet, and he took pictures, and Well,
that's what I was just gonna ask if he remembered you, and then I realized, I guess the first time that we met him was on your birthday. That time when you asked him to play a song, and he played a song just for you, which is still like the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was actually like the third or fourth time I had met him. But the first time was like when he first started his career, like I think 20-something, 26 years ago or something.
Oh,
was
really?
The first time I met him. It was very briefly. I had met his sound guy and became friends with the sound guy. So he let me meet him backstage, but it was very brief. And of course he doesn't remember that. But then the summer before my birthday, so I guess it was 3 summers ago, I had met him in Vegas. Jimmy had gotten us meet and greet backstage. I took Aunt Chippy, which was very scary because Garth's like super sweet. Like he's very he doesn't curse and he's very wholesome, I guess is how you could put it. And Aunt Chippy does she's like, "You son of a bitch!" Like she has no problem telling you what I was very worried. She charmed him.
Of course.
Very confusing. She told him this story about how her friend. She said, "I was driving with my friend. I have your CD, and I love your music, but my favorite song is The Dance." And he's like, "Oh, okay, it's a lot of people's favorite." And she said, "I was listening to it in my car, and a friend of mine wouldn't stop talking. And I said to her, 'Can you please stop talking? I'm trying to hear my favorite song.' And she said to me, 'You can just rewind it.'" And Aunt Chippy said, "I don't want to rewind it." So she tells the story to Garth, and she says, "So then for Christmas, do you know what my friend gave me? She made me a CD that plays your song, nothing but your song, 12 times. Every song is and I'm laughing thinking she could have just made you a CD with the song on it once.
Yeah.
And it would have just replaced with the friend made it. And Garth just thought that was absolutely the sweetest thing he had ever heard. And he was so nice. And my fears were
Oh, I love it.
Unsubstantiated, turns out.
Well, yeah, I got to go see Garth with you that time too. You didn't get to hear it in your intro. I was just talking about how you're one of my best friends, and your best credit is anything cool on my Instagram is probably because of you. But I got to tell you a story about that. So I've been doing this Craigslist chaos thing where I just call random people on Craigslist. So right. I called someone. I called a psychic. And I said, hey, will I be on the Tonight Show in the next year? And then and this psychic, I don't know how she did it, but she knew that I was a comedian. And then I was like, well, she's like, yeah. And then she asked me about Jimmy. I was like, yeah, I like Jimmy. And she's like, she's like, I don't like Jimmy. You know who I like is that Aunt Chippy though. Her advice was to, if I could be more like Aunt Chippy, I could my comedy career would be way better. I'll send it to you, but it was so funny.
That is ridiculous. First of all, well, I get she's not wrong. Like, Aunt Chippy is pretty funny.
Oh,
but
for sure.
It's so funny when people are like, I don't like it. I remember one time my mom was at the grocery store and the lady sees her credit card and goes, oh, Kimmel, like Jimmy? And my mom goes, yeah, that's my son. And the lady goes, I don't really think he's very funny. And my mom just looks at her and goes, that's my son. Like,
yeah.
People just have no, like, yeah. So when you and I are famous, man,
yeah,
we'll see what they say about us.
You don't do it much anymore, but I remember a couple of times when you were like, just would go off on people on the internet.
Well, there's that. Yes,
yeah.
A friend of mine said to me, here's the best advice I could ever give you. Don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Because you read the comments and you take it personally. And you're like, he is a good man.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody cares. They just want to troll and say mean shit.
They just want to be mean. All right, let me ask you a couple questions. Here's a couple questions from the Patreons, because you've done the 31 before, so you've done the original. If you guys haven't heard her, I don't know what episode it is, but it's a good one.
We did it twice. We did it once in Turkey and once at Cato's house.
Yeah, we did a Turkey one when we were flying back from Turkey after we went to a Turkey. We went to get Turkish baths, and Jill was like, I don't know about this, and I thought for sure it would be like a massage parlor, right? Or I could like get laid maybe even. And then when we got there, they were like, no women allowed in the Turkish bath. And then she had to.
The best thing was me saying to you, what should our safe word be? And you go, our safe word is help. I was like, okay, good.
But then I had to have this big Turkish man just shampoo my I had a big beard at the time, and I remember just looking over, trying not to giggle, with Jill just laughing at me, and I had this big ass grown Turkish man give me a full bath.
Gave you the bath, and remember they had like a towel, and they would like whip it around and like fill it with air and like nestle it on you. I was so uncomfortable. I was the only woman in the place, and they did you, and they like washed your beard with like a little weird wax hunk of soap. And then when they got to me, the guy was very, very careful to let me know, I'm using shampoo for you. He showed me this little bottle of Pantene. I was like, thank you. It's just something you have to experience once.
Yeah, you're sitting in just like a big room. There was just a big block of like, I don't know if it was marble or something in the middle, and then there's just little benches all around with like
bowls of water next to you.
Yeah, bowls of water. You don't even get a shower. You just fill up a bowl of water and then you pour it on your head. It was not what I was expecting.
It was like a sacrificial altar, a giant one in the middle of the room, and people just lay on it and get washed. It is really weird.
Yeah.
Because it's not a massage. They just wash you.
Yeah,
So myself.
Yeah, well, we had swimming suits on, and they didn't get anywhere near like our privates, but it was just a lot of, it was for sure the gayest thing I've ever done. And just a lot of dudes watching me get bathed by a grown ass big man.
And we were white, and everybody else there was Turkish, so we definitely attracted some stares.
It was a great trip. It was an unbelievable trip.
We should put up a picture.
I will.
Put a picture up of us in our turbans.
I forgot we did take a picture in there. I just remember that was an incredible trip. All right, here we go. We'll go with Josiah's question. Have you ever walked in on your parents or anybody else having sex?
No, I have
good.
not. Yeah, at all. Very careful about that sort of thing. And has anyone ever walked in on me?
Yeah.
Yes, my cousin walked in on me one time. I was in like high school and I was hooking up with some guy. I don't even know. And Mickey, you know Mickey, my cousin, she came in and she walked past and she didn't want to like ruin it for me, but she also wanted me to know she was not happy. So she dug her nails into my leg as she walked by.
The guy's probably never thought he's never made a girl scream like that. It was the Mickey effect.
I don't even think we were able to do it. I think it was like one of these, like we're making out, we're both young, who knows. But it was very funny. I'll never forget her walking by, just digging her nose. Like, ow!
Yeah, ow during sex. I've never had that happen, but I'm not an ow guy. How about what's the best Halloween costume you've ever worn?
Oh my God. So one year, my mom made me this costume, and I was a mermaid, and I was smoking hot back in the day. When I went to ASU, I really was. My hair is just like it is now, but like bigger. For some reason, I think your hair thins over the years, but it was like really big and curly and wild. And keep in mind, it's like 1988. And my mom made me this mermaid costume. It was like this shimmery coral pink, and it was just one piece of material that crisscrossed around my neck and like X'd across my boobs and tied in the back. So it was really just a piece of material. It wasn't a shirt. And then she made me the tail. And it was like the tail came like low below my. It was the sexiest goddamn costume.
Wow.
I regret every day of my life not still looking like that. Like, if I knew then what I knew now, I would just have worn that outfit until I gained 100 pounds and burst out of it. It was a good costume.
I mean,
my second favorite was my Rubik's Cube costume when I was like 11.
I like
it was
that
a
one.
box. And my mom just put a colored piece of poster board on every side of the box and like just drew lines, like tic-tac-toe lines, and made me a Rubik's Cube. The least sexy costume, but also super fun.
Well, that's awesome. Your mom was always making costumes.
Oh, yeah. She was super into it.
What do you make the kids' costumes, or they're too cool?
I used to. I mean, I wouldn't say like I make them. Like my mom would actually make them. I would just like assemble all the stuff they needed. Like 1 year Carson was Walter White from Breaking Bad. So I got him the bald wig and the hat and like the jacket, and then I drew like the beard on his face. I got him the blue like mess candy, rock candy stuff. And so I'll like make sure they have what they need, but I've never been one to like craft or sew or anything.
Yeah. Well, the costumes they make now are so great. Why even? I would just buy it.
Yeah, and now they don't even dress up anymore because they're old.
Yeah, they're cool. All right, Mark Masters wants to know, what's your most memorable meal you've ever had?
Memorable meal? Oh, geez. There were a couple. When we went to Italy, we had a few at some of those restaurants that were pretty amazing, just like course after course after course, that you're just like, you don't even know what you ate, but you just remember like this is a special thing. I think the one after we did the show on that ship.
Yeah.
Remember we did the show, it wasn't even on the ship. They wouldn't let us on the ship. We were like in a rec room, like looking out at the ship for like 11 people. And they took us across the street to this little place. Just a couple things like that, like little places in Italy always seem to have meals that you probably don't even know what you're eating, but they just seem like something you could really remember as special.
So good. That trip, I lost my favorite shoes, my ID, just a food.
Just on one.
One shoe, a food, drunk, fun coma.
Only you could like lose, never mind the shoe, but you lost your ID. Only you, and you had to go through a saga to get it. It's not like you're like, oh, I've got a birth certificate home. You had to like get a birth certificate. You had to go to Vegas where you didn't even live and like take a bus, have someone pick you up, but you never complain. You really never. Most people be like, oh my God. You're like, yeah, you just very go with the flow, which is what makes you enjoyable to hang out with because you don't really complain about stuff.
Yeah, it could always be worse. But you know what's funny is that we were just talking about our trip to Italy, but me and you have taken some bus trips. Jill and I would take, because we were just broke comedians, and we would take from Phoenix to LA on the Asian bus with all Asian people. And it was,
that was good times.
And they would feed us the weirdest food. And I mean,
they had that sandwich with like the weird meat in it. It's like a Vietnamese, it's banh mi or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's a weird pressed meat, like a slice kind of like their version of bologna or something. But you have to peel that off and just eat the bread.
It was gross. We would just sit in the back of this bus and just giggle, and all the Asians would watch like an American movie in Asian, and we would just. It was a fun. We just wait till we got to a pit stop and get like candy and snacks and shit. But man, we had.
I took that bus like probably 6 months ago. I can still take that damn bus. It's like $20.
Yeah, and it's not it's not that bad because you can plug in your phone, and it's better when it was me and you for sure. But you can even just zone out, and I'd always be like,
or just be on your phone or something. I mean, if you have the time, it's worth it because you don't have to drive. It costs a lot less. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to worry about getting a ticket or getting in an accident. Like, they drive.
Yeah,
and the time, you don't mind people who smell weird. It's fine.
It only take I think it would only take about an hour more than if we drove on our own. So
right,
it wasn't bad.
Stop. Yeah.
And if you wanted
8 hours.
If you want to do something illegal, you can. That's how you do it. Those Asian buses, you could have brought anything.
Yeah, because they also let you bring as much luggage as you want. One year, I went home with 3 giant Tupperware bins full of Christmas gifts, and they didn't bat an eye.
No.
They were just like, loaded up. They did not care.
Those are good trips. What's your pet peeve?
Oh, there are so many of them. I get so annoyed so easily. Definitely a pet peeve would probably be, oh God, I don't know. I hate hearing people chew or swallow. That makes me crazy. It's just, and it's like, listen, I know it's not your fault, but like, I have sensitive hearing and smell. So I get very offended when I walk into like a fart cloud in public, and I will yell, ah! I will like yell out, ah! And my friends are always like, don't do that. I'm like, why should the farter get away with farting? And the fartee has to just suffer in silence? No.
Who in your life's the worst farter?
Ooh. Jimmy's actually pretty bad.
Really?
Because he used to do, I remember when my son was a baby. So Carson was little. He was like 6 months old. And Jimmy farted around. He said he had been saving up. He'd been eating bad things like sauerkraut and stuff to intentionally gas out his wife at the time. So he apparently knew that they would end in divorce. Or maybe that's why they ended in divorce. But he doesn't do that to his wife now because she would literally kick his ass. But he was saving up his farts, and he farted. And it was so bad. I felt like green slime forming on my teeth.
Oh.
And I told him, I said, you're poisoning my baby's lungs. He said, no, I'm seasoning his lungs. I was like, oh my God. His farts are really bad.
Mine have been bad, and Shire gets mad at me, but I'm always like, you did this because you're feeding me all this healthy shit. I used to never fart.
The fiber will really
quit giving me Brussels sprouts if you don't want me farting up. I'm such I'm such a child though that I'd try to. Well, now we're at almost a year, so I'm more comfortable. At first, I wouldn't do it, because that's when I'll just fart, and she'll just be like, "Babe," and I'm like, I don't know why I just like to do it the loudest, but it's I don't know why.
It's funny to me when it's loud. Like a loud fart is funny, but a smelly one is not. And Jason rarely farts around me. It's not like he's polite, really. He just doesn't really fart. And if he does, they don't really smell. And I just think I hit the fucking lottery.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Trust me. You don't want to be around stinky farts. What's the meanest thing you've ever done to somebody to get back at them? And you don't have to give names. Is there any like? I've never even asked. I've never asked this question.
I probably have a good story.
I feel like maybe we could actually. Let's just go to another one. I might have to delete.
No, I have a story.
Oh, you do?
I'm willing to tell it.
Okay.
Yes. Because I was young, so I feel like I can chalk it up to being young, and I now know it is extremely mean. There was my best friend Trina when I was in 5th grade was spending the night at my house, and that was a treat.
Yeah.
Never spend the night. Her parents were divorced, so she was only home every other weekend, and when her schedule coordinated with mine, it was very exciting. So she was going to spend the night. I come home from school with her, and my mom had her Avon lady over the house. And the Avon lady had a daughter she was either our age or she was a year older than us. And I didn't know her at all, but she was there at the house. I'd never met her in my life. So Trina and I were like, going to go for a walk around the neighborhood, and my mom was like, the girl was like, can I come with you? My mom was like, yeah, sure, go with them. So I was like, okay, we don't know this girl, but So she comes with us for this walk. We're walking around the neighborhood. We come back. The girl asked my mom, could I spend the night too? And I was like, ew. Like now looking back, I'm like, how sad. She probably had no friends. She was not a very attractive girl. She probably didn't have many friends because why else would she like be clinging on to us? You know, she wouldn't. But at the time, you're like 10.
Yeah.
And so you're like, annoyed. So my mom was like, sure. So the girl's excited. We have to walk her to her house to get her sleeping bag. She comes back to the house, and we're pissed off. From minute one, we're not happy. So that night, as she slept, we poured water on her sleeping bag. And in the morning, we made her think that she had wet the bed.
Oh.
And we were so mean about it. Like, oh, my God, how embarrassing. I went and got Lysol from the hall closet. I was like spraying it around my room. The worst part of it was I was a bedwetter as a kid. So I knew how embarrassing that was.
Oh, my God.
And I knew, yeah. You're like, oh, my God, what? You're like, we're not friends anymore. So I did that. She never talked to us again. She never approached us at school. She stayed away. She was humiliated, I'm sure.
Oh, poor girl.
A couple months later, it was Halloween. And she came trick-or-treating to the house. I guess she must have gotten over it or something, but she was trick-or-treating.
Or you guys had good candy.
We did have good candy. My mom always had the chocolate. And she came to the house, and I wasn't out yet. I hadn't gone out trick-or-treating yet. I was still in the house, and she came to the door. And Jimmy knew the story, so he said to me in front of my mom, he goes, wasn't that girl that you made her think she wet the bed?
Oh, shit.
And my mom was like, what? My mom thought she really had.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously I wasn't going to tell my mom. Yeah. And I was not allowed to go trick-or-treating. Oh. I had to apologize. I was in so much trouble. So I did get punished, if anyone's concerned about that. But that was the meanest thing that I have ever done to somebody who really didn't even deserve it. It's not like, at the time I thought she did, but.
Yeah, but you were young.
Don't think less of me. I was young.
No, shit. No one's. It's better if you said at 30. That's way different than at 10. But she wasn't at like a high school reunion or anything.
No, like I said, I think she was like a year older than us. So I never saw her again. I do remember her though.
All right.
I still feel guilty.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I have a couple that I don't know if I'll ever get over. And they were one was like third grade, whatever age that is. And I'm just still. I remember calling this kid in the bathroom when it was like cordless phones and like apologizing. I was crying. I just felt like so bad. Even just thinking, we later in life hung out, but I never. And it was just something. I think we just like whitewashed this poor kid. He didn't do anything. But man, I felt so bad about. I mean, I know what you're saying. I was like, ugh. Let me add. What's like an incredibly common thing that you've never done?
Camp.
Camp?
Yep.
Never.
Like I went glamping for Jason's birthday, like I said, in those tents that were like fancy. They have like a permanent floor. There's a shower and a toilet, the whole deal. That's not camping. I've never camped. Slept in a tent, sleeping, but nope, never camped. I like running water. I like a flushing toilet. I'm like, I have a bed and I can afford a hotel. Like I don't know why we're sleeping outside.
I agree with you. I thought it was cool as a kid. Now I'm like, I'm good. What are you hilariously bad at?
I'm really bad at roller skating to the point where I do like that. If you've ever seen that Brett Ernst bit where he like imitates the guy who's like trying to get on the floor and the cool kid Tony's out there skating. I'm like that wobbly. I was roller skating at my cousin's 40th birthday. They rented the whole rink out for her birthday about 12 years ago. It was right when I started stand up. Yeah, so it was 13 years ago. And I was wobbling and I slipped and fell right on my ass, cracked my head, and broke my elbow. Like, it's ridiculous. I have no balance whatsoever.
I'm the same way. I only like push off with my left leg. I don't know why. It's so weird. Like,
did you even know that?
I don't know. I just could never do it with my right. So my left leg's like, let's never go skating. And my right leg's like, well, whatever.
Your left leg is like twice the musculature as your right leg.
I don't know why. I just never. And then I tried to ice skate one time. It was the same thing. I just ate it the whole time ice skating. But
yeah.
who makes you laugh the most?
The most?
Yeah.
God. My brother Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan is the funniest, but like dry funny. Like he's not like always walking around cracking jokes, but he just said random shit that is like we went to Italy. I believe I've told you this, but when we were in Italy, he did this whole thing about I was trying to say that there's a few different ways to say thank you. And because they were saying grazia. And he's like, it's not grazia, it's grazie. I'm like, no, but they're saying grazia. There's different ways to say it. Like you could say prego. That also means thank you. And he's like, yeah, you're right, I guess. Like there's a few different ways to say, like I was in my room and the maid came in and I said to her, buonasera. And then I was like, buongiorno. And she was like, the men here, they raped me. And I was like, right. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like he says random shit. Like it just makes me laugh. I don't know. It's one of those you had to be there things, but trust me.
Yeah.
He's funny.
He's a good Twitter follower. He's funny.
He is. And he's running, he's the showrunner for Crank Anchors.
I know, which is awesome. And it's great.
The episodes are great. He did one today. Like they posted one today where he was doing the call and they're calling in. He's like, thank you for calling CY Industries. Please press 1. And he's like doing the voice of a robot and the guy's responding as if he's a robot and he's saying ridiculous. It's so funny. If I could be a deserted island with anyone, it would be him. You second, of course.
Well, thank you. All right, one last question. When's the last time you asked for a refund on something?
Oh my God, this is so funny. So 2 weeks ago, I went up to Prescott or Pine Top to do a show. It's a little town in Arizona.
I saw you posted about it.
Yeah, it's that casino gig. So like what happens is the headliners get booked to do shows in Laughlin all weekend. And then come Sunday night, they realize, oh my God, I have to drive 5.5 hours to this little town in Arizona tomorrow and then turn around and drive all the way back to LA. So they all mysteriously turn up sick on Sunday is what happens. So the guy who booked it calls me. He's in a panic. I go, sure, I'll do it. So I was going up, and as you know, there's my favorite beer that I like by Papago Brewing Company. It's called Orange Blossom, and I really like it. And one of my friends, Leah, lives up there, and I thought, I don't know if she's ever tried it. Let me just grab a 6-pack at the store, and then if we're hanging out, whatever. So we're hanging out, and before that, I thought, let me have a beer before I go do this show. So I crack one open, and I go to drink it, and for some reason, it's bad. It's like flat. I don't know what is wrong with it, but I've had this happen about 3 or 4 times before with this particular beer. So I threw the can away, and I took the 5 cans of beer back to the Safeway the next morning on my way home and said, one of the cans of beer was bad, and I don't want to risk the rest of them being bad. And they gave me my money back. Oh,
really?
Yeah, it was like $9. But I was like, this isn't good. I'm not bringing home 5 beers that could possibly suck because the one sucked.
See, that's what I love about you. You don't take no shit, no matter what. I knew you'd have a lot of people were like, I don't know. I just like, even if it's bad, I'll just take it. I knew you'd be like, no, I'm getting my shit back.
Yeah, like if I'm at a restaurant and it's the server, I generally wouldn't be like, this is bad. I really wouldn't. I'd just be like, whatever. But like at a store, I'm like, no, they should. I even thought they might be like, you drank one of these. But I was like, no, they're bad.
Yeah.
Well,
I tried to take back a pair of Shire's shoes. She bought these expensive shoes, and then I guess if you wear them one time, you can't like take them back. I see like the strategy, but then I was also like, how is she gonna know that they don't fit her if she doesn't fucking wear them? Like, because she wore them to like
wear them on carpet
one day at work, and then I was like, but she thought they would fit, and then I'm usually good at talking people into shit, and then so I was like, I got this, and then I didn't have it. I came home with a box of shoes, and then somehow she took them back and got it done. But it made me laugh.
What you do is you have to like pull a seam out or something, and be like, they're ripped. I wore them once. You have to like say there's something wrong with them. You can't just say they didn't fit. They're like, well, you should have known that. You have to say like, no, they left a blood blister on my foot or something. Yeah,
just do the tear out the seams. I wore them once and they snapped.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's great. I see. I should have called you.
I'm good with that shit.
I love it. All right. Well, I love you, buddy. I hope tell the family, tell the kids, Jason, everyone I said hi. Have a great.
Give that gorgeous girl of yours a big squeeze.
I will.
We will see you very soon. Don't forget, my residency starts in Vegas next week, December 26th. Kimmel Comedy Club.
So Jill will
every
be
other Thursday, 10 p.m.
Yep, perfect. And she's all over in Phoenix, traveling all over, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully, I'll get down there soon. But have a great Christmas.
Yeah, let me know when you want to come out and do a show. We will see you soon. Have a great holiday.
All right, love you, Julia.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, man.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
And that's my girl Jill. She's the best. If you're ever in Vegas, go check her out every other Thursday. She's at Jimmy Kimmel's Club. I don't know how she got that gig. Oh, I actually do, because she's super funny. And it's her brother's club, which is awesome. My brother got me the hookup at Cracker Barrel. I get it. Take care of your people. So yeah, that was that. It's cool to know Jimmy's a farter like me. And it was cool that you talked about Aunt Chippy. If you guys, I think it's like Craigslist Chaos number 4 or 5 when a psychic tells me that I'm going to make it, because she just believes in me. I've never believed in myself more than this weird psychic. So, all right, I'm going to get another caller. I'll be back in a second. I don't know why I got to tell you guys this, because I won't even be gone on here. So your next guest will be... And I'm back. I was gone on here for about 0.1 second, but in real life I was gone for a long time. But I am back, and we are back. My boy Tone is in studio, drove in. I tell you guys, join the Patreon. He joined the Patreon, what, last week?
Yeah, last week.
And now you're sitting in studio.
Now I'm in the content factory.
Which I love it. And I'm glad to have you. And we are going to call one of my buddies. We're going to call a dude named Josh Nasar. Very funny comedian. He tweeted at me this morning, and he went viral for getting in a fight with like one of the most famous skateboarders in the world. So we're going to call him. He's gone viral a couple times. He is an interesting dude, fearless, funny, and crazy. So we're going to call him up, hit him with a couple quick questions. He will never be at a loss for words. I assume he will be coming in hot on the answer. I'm going to call it right now. He'll probably answer as Brody Stevens, because we always do Brody Stevens voices back and forth. So who knows what's going to happen here, but I will venture to say he will reference Dillard's at least once, and he'll be on fire. Let's hope. So here we go. Please answer, Josh.
Yeah! Who is it?
Josh Nasar, this is Brandt Tobler.
You got it.
What are you doing, buddy?
Driving in the car up to 405. I often drift when I drive.
I like it. In studio with me is my boy Tone Gordon. Say hi.
What's up, man?
How are you, young lady?
I was just telling him how, and telling the audience how crazy you are, and I was hoping you'd answer it was Brody, and there was definitely a little Brody in there.
You got it.
Where are you driving to?
I am driving from Westfield Mall. You got it. I started this side company that helps women and children who are victims of domestic violence, and I give away free yoga and athletic wear every time somebody makes a donation. And I'm now having a pop-up shop inside of the mall.
Which is great. Which I stayed with you when I was in LA, and you were telling me all about it, which I think is a really cool thing. So
cool.
Where'd it come from? Give us a little pitch.
So essentially, my cousins were closing their online yoga and athletic wear business. They had about 10,000 pieces of yoga and athletic wear, really high-end stuff. And they were just done. They were like, I don't want to do it anymore. So I just bought all of it. But I bought it for $5,000. So I was paying 50 cents a piece for stuff that you pay 50 or 60 bucks for. So I started putting women at Runyon Canyon, Ralph's, at LA Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness. And when people walk in, hey, we're giving away free yoga and athletic wear anytime you make a donation. A portion of the proceeds goes to help end domestic violence. And the cool thing is, for everybody that donates $1 and takes 5 pieces, I got 20 people that are like, man, I don't want any clothes. I just want to donate.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about selling. Really cool. So now I'm approaching companies like Walmart has been giving me donations, and Target has. So now I'm approaching companies and getting large donations from them of clothing. And then now I'm going to start opening like little pop-up shops in malls where it's the same thing. Hey, we're just giving you free clothes right when you walk in.
Which is great.
We'll see if it works. It's a good side hustle for when I'm doing stand-up, because that's, they pay you nothing to do stand-up unless you're one of the big guys.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that you've given a bunch of women comedians jobs, which is great.
Yeah, and we've already given $1,295 to the charity, and we've only been open for 5 weeks.
I love it.
So, we got 17 women working right now. Really cool.
That's what I love about you. When you get going, there's no stopping you. And
Airbnb went away, and I had to make some fucking money. Jewish Josh, you know what I'm saying? What up, girl?
Yeah, what
So,
they cut out the Airbnb out and they cut all that off, right?
Airbnb, LA made a law, and I actually agree with it, where you can only rent if you're going to rent on the platforms. You can't do short-term rental. You have to rent 30 days or more. And it's simple econ 101, supply and demand. There was too many people having Airbnbs, so the demand was so high for apartments because there wasn't that many left, because people like me had 3 or 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
So when somebody like just a regular person tried to rent an apartment, the landlord's like, yeah, it's $5,000 a month. We can charge it because we know you have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great thing. You know, I lose my source of income, but I agree with the law. So that's it.
Well, I like it. My day started with finding out that you went viral almost fighting a skateboarder. What in the world happened? I didn't realize it was the most famous skateboarder in the world.
Kind of like a robot when you interview me. Where's Brandt Tobler? Yeah. Where is the idiot that I love?
Why? What happened?
About Dillard.
Oh, you
just sound very professional.
Well, I want to ask you about stuff. Well, you don't want it to be professional?
Yeah. I want more Brandt Tobler, you know?
All right. Well,
Okay.
So what the fuck happened? I saw all this crazy shit on the internet about you fucking with a skateboarder that I didn't even know was super famous till you told me to go look at the video, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the most fucking famous skateboarder in the world.
Thank you. There's Brandt Tobler.
Sorry.
So I was pulling out of the gym, Equinox, Jewish, pulling out of Equinox. And going kind of slow. It's weird. On Vine Street, there's like, it's a sidewalk driveway. It's really, really like the same color. Like it's just, you know, you kind of inch out. And all of a sudden this dude goes flying by the front of my car and hits the front of my car. Not too hard, but I didn't know what it was. I thought I had hit somebody. And then I look to the right and all these kids, skateboarders come running up and they all have their phones out, you know, like, oh my God, I can't believe you hit Nyjah. I didn't know who it was. And I'm like, what? And then one of them hit my car. And then I reached across my seat and I go, don't hit my car, faggot. Now, I was not meaning anything. It literally came out. I was like scared, whatever. I obviously should not have said that. Totally get that. But I'm not standing out of a gay rally.
Yeah.
You know, saying it. So I pull over and I call the cops because what do you have to do? You know, I don't know what's going on and I don't want to get in trouble for a hit and run or whatever. So I just stand there. I have my arms crossed, not saying a word. And this one skateboarder's like, man, you want to fight us. You're a little bitch. You want to fight us. Don't you steroid monster. And just over and over. And I didn't say anything. So I got on the phone with the cops and I go, look, this dude's taunting me. Like, I don't want to stay here. Like, okay, does everybody look all right? I go, everybody looks to be all right. The guy's skateboarding. So they go, okay, you can go. I go, all right, you have it on record? They go, yes. So I leave and don't think anything about it. All of a sudden I start getting all the tape mail. And they post a video. And the way they said it, they go, you know, Nyjah Huston got called on the cops by some guy, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I called the cops, you know, but apparently from what I found out, like 5 other people were calling the cops because he was skating up and boarding down Vine Street. And it's kind of like where people go to, like with a walk of, you know, stars are.
It's all the stars.
Strollers.
Yeah.
It's like family oriented. So when you're going in and out, like 5 people called the cops, but whatever. So I got hit up, and for like 48 hours, I was in a panic. Like literally, like in my bed, curled up. Like, what the fuck? Called my friend who gave me a crisis management, one of those people that takes care of like sex tapes and all that kind of stuff. And I go, look at it. He looks at it. He starts laughing. He goes, oh, don't worry about it. I'll be gone in 48 hours. I go, what? He goes, dude, it's a blip on the map. Obviously, you were not saying anything racist or homophobic. It came out. Yeah, you shouldn't have said it, but trust me, within 48 hours, you will not be contacted again. To the dime, like right on the point of 48 hours. I haven't heard anything about it since. It was like a blip on the map.
Oh, shit.
But, I mean, I hear every once in a while, and now when I hear it, because people will hit me up, like, and say the worst things, and now I FaceTime them hundreds of times.
How do they...
Over and over again. I just keep calling them on Instagram over and over, and then they'll pick up and they won't show their face. I'm like, why don't you show your face, asshole? You know?
So you're getting material out of it.
Well, now what I do is I sit on stage. I just sit on the stool and I go, this is a story. I'm like condensed from what I told you. And I go, these are the messages that I got. So one of the messages was, you drive a Toyota, kill yourself. Like that was one of the messages the guy said. You know? And the guy said, I can't believe this, no joke, I can't believe you said the word faggot. You're so gay. Like this is what he said, you know? I mean, people are really vicious, and anybody who's seen it knows, and I'm not homophobic at all. Like nothing, it came out, was wrong. I learned my lesson. I'll never say that, in that context again, unless I'm telling the story of what I did wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is what it is.
Wait, did you ever hear from the skater dude, from Nyjah?
No, nothing. In fact, what I did is he posted a picture and said, "Can someone identify this man?" So I took that picture and I made it all of my profile pictures.
Yeah. I love it. Well, it's not the first time you went viral. What? Remember the old videos? How come we don't do videos of like the old days?
Yeah. So I call those moving selfies.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'll catch somebody doing something behind me that's ridiculous, whether they're picking their nose or doing, PDA or something ridiculous. And then I just put the camera on me with the film, and then I just start screaming. And they don't know what's going on because it's faced on me. I'm not facing towards them. They kind of don't know. So I've had a couple viral videos with that.
They're so funny,
that
but
was fun. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing those again.
They make me laugh so hard when you're just in the car and you're just screaming and you're filming someone next to you and they're just like so confused.
Yeah, I like going up to people and I go, excuse me, can I have some directions? And they go, yes. And I go, yes.
You should
say nothing. And then it just gets real awkward. And then I just drive away.
You should have your own show of you just out fucking with people. Can you pitch that to somebody?
I would love to have a show like that, that's definitely what I want to do.
What if we kill?
Like keep doing those videos.
If we killed an Impractical Joker, you would be the first one up, right?
I love that show. I know those guys.
I know they're your friends.
They're awesome. But
I'm not going to kill them.
That's the exact thing I would want to do. I would want to do. That's the show. It's so great. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody's like, everybody has fun. They're just playing with each other. It's all good natured fun. And you'll see that when you go to their concerts, which are arenas. Like, there's people, all ages 8 to 80. And that's kind of, what I like. I like good, clean fun,
Yeah,
so that really affected me. That thing, I said I learned my lesson. I didn't even, mean it like that. But that, I was like, oh shit, I don't want people to think that I feel that way.
Yeah. No, I talk about it a lot on stage all the time. I even say it before I have a new joke where I say retarded. But it's really something that happened in my life, and but I preface it like that. I'm like, I'm just trying to make you laugh, man. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's a real story about my life, and some people.
Do you think it's okay to say it in the context of what I just said? I'm telling you this story about what happened. Is it okay to say it?
Oh, is it okay? I don't know what's okay and what's not okay as far as like the way I grew up. But no one will accept this anymore. Is like that's just what I said out of anger, and I think in the moment watching the video, you were just angry. Like, do I know not to say it? We all know not to say it now, but if I got mad, would I say it? I probably would say it, just not even knowing.
Yeah.
So
I was scared, and I thought I hit somebody, and then somebody punched my car.
But then I would hate to have
whatever.
But then I would be, then you have. But like you said, people that know. That and it was a good point. It would go away in 48 hours, but no, like to me, and what's funny is I worry about saying the word retarded. So like tonight I'll do a show at the South Club, which is usually a tougher crowd because they're older, rich, like white people. And I was worried about saying the word retarded in front of them, but they don't care at all. They said retarded. Like no old people are going to be worried about what you said. It's going to be 20-year-olds that are like. So I don't know. It's just words and shit. Like I don't know, man.
Just words.
That's what I say.
Whatever, keep it moving. None of it matters. We're all going to die.
Yeah, I know. Tony, you got a question for him?
No, but yeah. I was going to say I add on to it. I grew up in the generation of like we used all of that stuff, and obviously when like Eminem first came out, that was everyone said that. Yeah. Everyone said it all the time. Words have changed so much, but you're right. It's the millennial age that's going to have the issue with it. But I think in the story form, it's actually better long term for people to talk about that kind of stuff and bring it up, because then it actually helps people going forward knowing why not to say it or what not to say, or
Well, I realize you can't say it. I have a story where a guy said the N-word in my story, and it's a crucial part to my story. And then I said it on stage once. I was like, I'm going to try this story. And there's like 8 black people sitting in the back. And I was like, I was nervous, but I didn't say it. It was crucial for the story of this guy saying it. Right when I said it, the room got so quiet, and this black lady's just like, nope, and just got her whole crew, and they all walked out. And then I was like, I didn't even say it. It was someone else said it. And it was just, I don't know, man. It's just, people are always gonna be upset. But let me give you some fun questions.
And it's amazing though. Talk
Yeah.
about Eminem. Like, think of all the things that he said.
Oh,
I don't know.
God.
I don't know if this is gonna be a bit, but if you're good at what you do, like really, really, really good at what you do, people let you get away with it.
Well, yeah.
For instance,
Oh, go ahead.
Mike Tyson was convicted of rape.
Yeah.
He was not. He was convicted and went to jail. Now he's in The Hangover. Oh, we love him. He's doing Broadway.
Well, you know, that's
Like-
that's the lesson I learned from LA. If you can make other people money, they don't give a shit what you do. You just weren't making
How
enough.
crazy is that, though?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's what it always comes down to. Trust me, it's the same with comics. Like, we have to be clean this month. That's the rule at Comedy Works. But then, like, John Reap is here, but he doesn't have to be clean. But we get it. He makes her a lot of money. She's making money off her Christmas parties. But yeah. Well, I mean, it's like what I always say. Everyone has different rules. But all right, let me ask you some fun questions.
Yeah.
What are you kind of snobby about?
People wearing shoes in my house. Don't fucking wear shoes in my fucking house.
That is you.
Fucking disgusting people. Do not wear shoes. Think about it. You know what's all those little black dots that are all over the street? That's gum. People spit, piss, and shit on the street. They don't give a shit. And you wear your shoes and you want to come to my house. And when I say take it off, they go, really? And I go, yeah. Fucking assholes.
Even if it's like a super hot
Like urine in my house.
hot chick, is there anyone that you'd allow? Who would you let wear shoes in your house?
No one can wear shoes in the house. Take your shoes off, please. Take your shoes off, please. I hate it, and it doesn't make sense that everybody can do it. Would you wipe your blankets on the ground outside and put them on your bed?
No.
So then why is your clothes and your shoes allowed on my fucking couch?
That's true. All right. I take them off every time I come over. Tony, if you ever go to Josh's house.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, how did you deal with that during when you were renting your house at Airbnb? That had to drive you crazy, right?
What I did is I had maids come in
Oh.
and scrub everything before I got back in.
All right.
Before I did, you know.
All right. What's the longest trip you've ever been on?
I went to Europe for 35 days, and I just literally walked around. Went everywhere.
By yourself?
Yep, went by myself, smoked a bunch of weed in Amsterdam, got a panic attack, went to the train station, banged on the window and said, get me the fuck out of here. Next thing I know, I'm on top of the Eiffel Tower, outside on the terrace alone, Christmas Day, with a croissant and a hot chocolate, looking over Paris. It was amazing.
What was you were just like, fuck it, I'm going to go, and then was there an
I just
outline,
went,
or
I
you
walked
just
around
go?
And wherever I wanted to go, I go. I went to this little country called Andorra, which is in the middle of Spain and France, and the only way you can get there is by like bus, I think, or train or something like that. Like you really can't get there very easily, and it was really, really cool. I went to Switzerland. I was going down the snowboarding, and I fell. You know, I caught an edge, fell, and gave myself a concussion a little bit, like enough to where I was like, this is awesome. I was lying on the mountain, and I was like, dude, I'm either going to die here or I have to get up. And I got up, and I went halfway down, and then I had a Kahlua and cream at the little halfway down restaurant on the mountain. Fucking great memories.
I love it. You attach a drink to all your memories. Like hot chocolate, Kahlua and cream.
Dude, it's food. I definitely have an addiction to food. I can't have anything in my refrigerator. Like you'll come over, and you open my refrigerator, there's literally nothing because I'll eat it.
Okay, well, speaking of that, what's the most memorable meal you've ever had?
Boa Steakhouse on Sunset in the 9000 block. Yeah, geography. They have a seafood tower there, and I love seafood, and it was amazing. It's got crab and lobster and shrimp and everything, and scallops, and it's fucking badass.
What that cost you?
I think it was only like $180, but it was for a couple people, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like outrageous. So that, and then also there was one meal in Vegas where we all went out with a bunch of us in my Ed Hardy days, and we all ate at like Nobu or something fabulous, and then we were all so fat right after that we all just went home. We didn't even go out that night.
Your Ed Hardy days are still the greatest ones.
Yeah, dude, I wore Ed Hardy. I drove a Hummer. I had chlamydia. Like I was in that. Yes, doing material to Tobler.
Who got you into that? It was just on TV, or did you have an Ed Hardy mentor?
My friend Jeff Boz, who owned Sunset Tan, had a show on E called Sunset Tan. Jeff Boz was like the little Pied Piper of LA at that time. And, you know, and we were just all diamond out and, you know, cool hat to the side, Von Dutch, Ed Hardy, spray tan, pump, casino with George Malou. You got it. Britney Spears. Yeah.
Did you ever meet Britney?
No, we went to her concert. We were friends with her manager, Larry Rudolph, so he would get us tickets to her concerts.
Who have you met that made you the most nervous? Do you get nervous? You don't seem like you get nervous.
No, when I get around people, like guys that I perceive have money, wealth, power, height, I do end up getting like a little bit like, you know, that's your character defect where I'm like, I'm less than, I'm small, I'm little, I'm dumb. And then I'm like, ugh. And as you grow older, you go, doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I think that, you know, I'm pretty good now. And usually if a person is kind, and no matter how quote unquote big and powerful they are, you don't get like that because they're welcoming and nice, you know? You know, people that are assholes, you're like, ugh. And now I'm like, ugh, you're a horrible human.
There's a few horrible humans out there in LA, right?
Yeah.
100%.
There's the old Booker of the Laugh Factory. What a douchebag. What a loser.
You guys still got beef, huh?
Oh, he's such a loser. He used to book himself on shows and then call them all-star shows. You can't do that.
How dare you?
You cannot do that. You have to have integrity for the craft. I'm not a headliner. I'm not on tour. I might go on the road. I may headline. I'm not a headliner. Chris D'Elia is on tour. He's a headliner. People are coming out to see him. You can't stay in your lane. I remember I toured with a comedian named Godfrey, who is by far one of the best comedians I've ever seen. Dude's a beast. And he's like, I think he was going to make up T-shirts to like stay in your lane. And I always remember like, yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like know your place. You know, like, you know, people will know when you're a headliner. You know, you'll be good enough.
No, I agree. And Godfrey, yeah, he's a beast.
I'd be out with him on the road in the car. We'd be talking about whatever, something funny. And then I would see a fully functioning joke that night. And I'd be like, how the fuck did you just do that? Yeah. And I know he just thought of it because we saw something funny together, you know, and then he would be like, blip, blip, blip. He's a genius.
Yeah, he's great. Well, we always bonded over our love for Brody. You have a favorite Brody story?
Yeah! How dare you? Stephen, Brody Stevens. Well, there's two things. One, for whatever reason, I got on a Brody kick when I was becoming friends with Jeff Dye. TV's Jeff Dye, yeah. And I watched Jeff Dye's Tonight Show set, and then I just voiced over Brody watching and going, yeah, joke one out of the gate. Jeff Dye gets it. Yeah. Wearing a pin for his sister. He gets it. Yeah, look at his jacket. Like just commenting how Brody would. And then it started to get like 1,600 views where people were watching that. People were like commenting, does he like Jeff or is he mocking him?
Oh, wait, but that was when Brody was still alive, right?
Yeah. So
wait,
that was one, but that's like a separate thing.
But did Brody ever see that?
100% I'm sure he saw it. And I used to do Brody to Brody.
How'd that go?
I think I would sit in the original room. So Brody would do the main room at the Comedy Store. 12:31 in the morning, maybe 45 people there. He'd do an hour, and I would come in and I'd be banging the table laughing so much. And I started filming him, and then he would say, Josh, what are you doing? You're pulling focus. I go, I'm sorry, Brody, I'm just a fan of you. He goes, well, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm sorry, I'm just filming you because a friend of mine named Brandt Tobler and Jeff Dye, they're fans of yours, they're comedians, but they're not able to be here to see you. He goes, how does that help me? I go, I'm sorry, no. He goes, get in the back. I go, bro, really? He goes, you need to leave my eyesight. And then I would go in the very back of the room, continue filming, and he goes, I can still see you. And we would do the same bit over and over and over again.
He really was the funniest.
And then I would send you the videos.
Yeah.
Such a kind human.
If you're not listening, if you're listening, you for some reason don't know who Brody is, just Google him. And it's not going to do him justice. He was just always could make me laugh the hardest. He was so funny. He reminded you and him are the ones that were truly fearless. Not a lot of fearless people in LA, and you and him would just. No one else really goes for it. Like, is there anyone else who you think anybody else that's really just does whatever?
Goes for it. Really, really, really goes for it. I guess you know what it is when people start finding their voice. You could say they're really going for it, you know? They kind of like just put it out there. Do you know Brian Holtzman?
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, like, what I like about everyone in LA tries to act so cool, and then you would send me these videos that were just so funny. I wish I still had them all because, man, and
can you hear me, Brandt?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I said, yeah, I can hear you. I said, I think the person who really goes for it is Brian Holtzman.
Mm-hmm.
He took over, not take over, but he does Brody's spot now. And the things he say are so wrong and offensive. And I know they're funny because he said something, I mean, that's horribly offensive. And me and Maz Jobrani are in the back of the Comedy Store banging on the tables laughing. And look over Maz Jobrani, who's literally the nicest guy in the world. Probably in Hollywood. Him and Maximini are both the nicest guys. And banging on the table, I go, all right, if he can get fucking Maz Jobrani to laugh, like that, he's amazing.
Wait, what'd he say?
I can't say it because it was that offensive and that's brilliant. I can't.
Hey,
I would get in trouble for saying it.
That was a test. Good job. You did. We've come full circle in this interview. Tone, anything you got a question for him on the way out, or we're done?
No, I just enjoyed the conversation. That was hilarious, all of it.
He really is. When are you going to come to Denver?
I would like to get a book doing comedy in Denver and stay at my friend Brandt Tobler's.
Well,
you got it.
You're welcome anytime. But you know what? You come to my house, you better take off your goddamn shoes. You're the only one. Yeah. Even though you probably have the cleanest shoes.
I can't come to your house.
Well, I didn't think about it until you put it like this. But we also have a dog, aren't you? Whatever. Even if I make everyone take off their shoes, their dog's going to bring in more dirt and shit than a person.
Do you have a dog?
Yeah. Teddy. It's my girlfriend's dog, but I'm supposed to say it's ours.
Put little booties on the dog or clean the dog's paws. Put the booties, clean the dog's paws.
He won't wear that shit. He barely wears his collar. He's a goddamn spoiled. No. I'm trying to break a spoiled child. This dude lived the best life before me. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Last
you
thing.
Got it. I love you.
Wait, give me one last thing before you go. Can you just... You were the best door-to-door meat salesman in the world. Can you just do the pitch real quick, and then we'll let you go?
Hey, sorry about the wholesale steak, seafood, and chicken. I got New York strips, Delmonico's, ribeye, T-bones, hamburger patties. If I can't pack freeze, I'm going to give it to you free. What do you want? Lemon pepper, honey mustard, plain barbecue, shrimp, tuna, mahi-mahi, salmon. As I said, I take these on my strawberry express special checks, cash I use from children. Hey, if I can't pack freeze, as I said, I'll give it to you free. What are you, a vegetarian? I'm a sadist from Mom's Library. That's veterinary. Hey, you know what? Free steak. Show you what I got.
And that's why you were the best in the business, right?
You got it. Meat salesman. Yeah.
You got it. Well, you're the best, dude. Thanks for always making me happy. Thanks for taking the time. I know you're busy. Keep doing all that good shit, raising that money. We'll get you out to Denver, and we'll put some dog paws on this dog, and I'd love to have you stay with me.
Awesome. Wait, hold on a second. It's gonna sound like I'm hanging up. Hold on one second.
Okay. And there he goes. That's his move. That's Josh Nasar. What did you think, Tone?
That just. Trying to hold back laughter. I didn't want to laugh too hard on the mics because that was just like so funny.
He's even better in person, and he always does that shit. It's gonna sound like a dial tone. Hold on, and that's when I know he's always hanging up on me.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm stealing.
Yeah, go ahead, steal everything except for calling a bunch of skaters the F word, which I could tell you felt bad about. But if you guys want to see a great video, we don't want to bring it back to light because it sounds like it's over. But go to
Nyjah.
First of all, you should just follow the dude. So I went down that rabbit hole today to see what kind of trouble Josh got in. And it was like, I think it's go to Nyjah's and go to like July 3rd, and you'll see Nyjah getting arrested. You'll see the picture of Josh. You'll see everything. And but he's an incredible follow. But it's funny. Let's hopefully it dies, but it'll give you something to watch for a minute. But he's a good dude, and he did his meat sales. I should have slowed that down, but his meat sale. If you're with him. If you were here, Tone, if he was here, I'd say try to sell it to Tone, and I'd say, Tone, say whatever you can to not buy it, and he can always counter with anything. I'm a vegetarian, blah, 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 da, 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 da. He's fucking incredible.
That's a good salesman.
And he was the biggest Ed Hardy douche. If you follow him on Instagram, and just scroll down a ways, and he is full like orange tan, Ed Hardy hat to the side, huge chain wallet, Von Dutch, Ed Hardy, everything. But he's a good dude, and I love him. So, all right, that's it. Tone, plug your podcast real quick.
It's Swiss Army Man Pod. You were on it yesterday.
I just
posted it. So it's just follow it at Twitter at Swiss Army Man Pod.
Yeah. If you guys need another pod, go check it out. It was fun. We did like an hour. It was a real fun video, too. We're going to wrap this up, so we're going to get on this Craigslist and give you guys another Craigslist call. So hope you guys are loving all this content. Tone, thanks for coming over and sitting in. And
thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. That's why you joined the Patreon I'm not going to push it too hard, but you join this Patreon. You can fucking, like I said, come to the wedding, stay at the house, whatever you want. Wear your shoes inside. Tone, you got your shoes on, right?
I do have my shoes on.
If you weren't on Patreon, shoes off. God damn it. No, it's... All right, we'll wrap this up. Give Jill Kimmel, give Josh Nasar a follow. They're both good Instagram follows. And I love you guys. Talk to you the next episode, hopefully tomorrow. Bye-bye.